Guys, today we're going to take a look at some matches from the rank number 1 player in RTA. It is very close though. By the time you're watching this, there may be a different rank 1 player because it's only like there is a couple dozen points separating the top like 4 or 5 players. So interesting to see the segment being picked so fast. Bans the Cheongpung, bans the Tian Lang. We have a few fusion units in here, like for example the Light Monkey's a fusion. Okay, so we have the Vertiheel, we have the Riley. It's nice to see some fusion units actually being viable in RTA, but a lot of people have actually been using Riley. So let's see what winds up. I mean, the elephant in the room is that there's also a Light Monkey being used, right? But do you guys feel like the Water Totemist needs a buff to her? Because if we compare the Water Totemist and the Wind Totemist is just like, if you actually compare the skills side by side, the Wind Totemist is just a little bit edges out the Water Totemist. And then also the attack buff. More people favor the attack buff versus the defense buff. What do you guys think? Do you think the Water Totemist needs just a little bit of a buff just so they're on equal footing? Let me know. Next match, G3 versus G3. I think we're going to see a lot of G3s today. Opponent first picks a Chiwu and a Cheongpung. That's just, there's too many ways that can go wrong. Bans out the Light Monkey, bans out the Entaris. Let's see what winds up happening here. He actually gets the strip and the reset. He gets the counter on the Vertiheel too. So let's see who's the target for here. Goes for the Ganymede. Okay. And then just trying to put as much damage as possible into the Ganymede. Both Ganymede and Cheongpung are very nasty here in just the fact that they will just increase the cooldowns. Like, you don't want the cooldown on the Vanessa increase. But aside from that, like the Cheongpung does skill 2, skill 3. That's going to activate the Diana. That's going to activate the Vertiheel. And this is one of the things that I noticed from my own matches is if like I go for I don't do this anymore, but if I was to go for the Chiwu Cheongpung so early on, that would get punished. And that's exactly what happened here, is just Diana and Vertiheel. There's other things that have, it's generally units that have passives, right? Passives that have very dangerous revenges. Those can get nasty if you pick the Cheongpung and Chiwu early on, and you could just kind of play around it. The Annabelle is a nice pick to round out the for his opponent to round out the team, but just Cheongpung and Chiwu so early on was punished. Next match, Nana Woosa first pick, and a Juno and a Leo. So they're going Super Bruiser style, and a Jaeger. Bans out the sustain, so leaves in 3 LD5s. 3 LD5s, although Jaeger and Juno are going to be very, very strong into this. Also does not land too many debuffs on the Jaeger and Juno, right? So he missed a lot of those debuffs on Jaeger. Jaeger's not immune to everything. Jaeger's not a chroma. So gets the bomb on there. Let's see what winds up happening. The Tian Lang is going to keep cycling from the Juno's first skill. So let's see. That Jaeger's stacked already. So he's going to just pop Cheongpung, and then he's going to get his... Yeah, he needed to get that. He's going to pop Cheongpung, and then he's going to get another stack on the Nana. And if he doesn't... Well, I was going to say if he doesn't do it now, then he still would come back from the dead anyway. Yeah, this is just a great time that Jaeger just shines. This is a Jaeger spotlight right here. Look at this. Look at the Nana, even 2 soul beads. Already had 1 revive. 2 soul beads. There's nothing he can do. This monkey is not going to really do too much here. I mean, he's gonna take the Jaeger down, but Jaeger's just gonna come. Well, I was gonna say Jaeger is gonna come. He's not gonna come right back anymore. It's still winnable. It's still winnable, but we'll see. Does he get the stuns? Does he get the stuns with the Juno? The Juno's just gonna solo here. Yeah, the Juno's just gonna solo here. GG. Next match versus Big V. So Ares picks actually a team that I love using, but again, I gotta kind of be cautious of what pick order I use that Chiwu Cheongpung. So let's see who gets turn 1. Let's see. Okay, so he actually does get the turn 1 with the Chiwu. So super, super fast Chiwu, and then increase cooldowns, and then that's basically game right there. That's game. Ciara can just put a bomb on something, attack something else, and then just keep cycling as much as possible. And then there's also the increased cooldowns with the Cheongpung. That was just too dangerous of a combination. But they were both playing the speed game. They were both trying to see who gets turn 1, and we saw that Ares got turn 1. Next match versus a Japanese player, or maybe not a Japanese player. I don't know. Just because the flag is there does not mean that they're necessarily a Japanese player. Bans Hey Gang. Bans Hey Gang. I didn't know that the Lulu was going to get banned, but I knew that the Hey Gang was getting banned. Because I like to run a similar comp to what he does, and I'm just going by what I would ban, and it would be the Hey Gang. Gets resisted, but should be fine. Let's see what he winds up doing with in what turn order, I mean, with that. So he actually does not go for the skill 3 with Cheongpung. He goes for the skill 2 instead. Let's see what winds up happening here. He's got the Serious Matter. And that's basically, I mean, they could have come back from that still. You know, RNG is RNG. But he chose to just not go for it. So there we go. GG. That was a fast one, though. This guy's name, actually, I think that's the guild name, is Twilight Tomato. We got the dude from the arena with a tomato on his head. Fantastic. So he's going in with the Tian Lang and Gianna Cheongpung CR. Two very nasty combinations. Bans out the Woosa, bans out the Carnal for the HP lead. So there wasn't a whole lot of leader skill options without the Carnal in there. So that's, I think, why he just banned the Carnal, is he was banning stats out from the enemy side. So let's see what winds up happening here. Could be, I don't know why he didn't, why the opponent did not go for the Cleanse. Maybe they were just trying to save it for later, but I don't know. With a team so fast and aggressive like the one that he's using, I don't know that later is necessarily gonna actually come. So another thing to note with these high-level players is a lot of them know what each other have as far as their LDs and their monster box, and then this should be just game at this point. Wait, is that gonna? I don't know if that's gonna actually kill everything. That does kill enough. Okay. That does wind up killing enough. So he's got pretty solid attack power on those units. But yeah, a lot of the players at this high level are aware of what LDs each other has. So it's like, oh, this one has the Tian Lang, this one has this one has that. So a lot of times their picks could be different. Like their first pick, like why did they pick a different first pick against this player than against this player? And it's not that they're picking the same first pick every match. It's that they are like, okay, I fought against this player before. I know they have this, so I'm going to pick it out from them, or vice versa, or what's strong against that specific player. And that's some of the things that you have to do. You have to take notes. At this level of the game, you have to actually take notes on your opponent and know what they do and what their play style is. And that's what makes you actually beat a lot of them. Twilight Tomato, the rematch. Let's see how this match goes versus the first match. So he picks Woosa more aggressively. Cheongpung CR, so he's got two nasty combinations there. Opponent changed his draft around. He's like, you know what? I lost the first time. Let me learn from my mistakes. Let me see what I can do to have a better shot at winning here. So has several different strippers. He had the Diana, he had the Praha, or he still has the Praha. He gets resisted there. Okay, so let's see. Gets all the strips. How much CC does he get? He got a little bit of CC there. Okay, and then he's going to have skill 3 here. Does he get the sleeps? He does not get the sleep on Ciara, but he does get the decreased attack gauge on Ciara and the provoke. So, and then Ciara's not going to be able to cycle with turn 1, glancing, right? So, let's see what winds up happening here. Gets an additional turn. Cheongpung additional turns can change the course of the game. He didn't have anything that he could follow up his skill 3 with. The skill 3 is generally the thing that, like, the additional turn leads to the skill 3. But he already used the skill 3 anyway. Usually, Cheongpung skill 2 into a skill 3 is basically like, oh, well, the match is over. Fantastic. Right? You get the strip, and then you get the decreased attack gauge. So this looks definitely in favor of the opponent at this point. Definitely in favor of the opponent. Because as soon as Savannah dies, she's going to come back from the dead fully in beast form. Not in beast form. She's going to come back from the dead on the beast. She's not a druid. So GG, opponent learned from the first match, changed up his draft, and wound up winning. Goes for first 3 picks, something that I would absolutely get demolished by if I tried to do that. But he does have Tian Lang. So if his opponent tries to counter those first few picks, he can just pick a Tian Lang into the most common counters for that. But the opponent does pick a Juno and a Diana, which are also very fantastic counters to, for example, the Cheongpung and Chu, and that's why they actually got through. So let's see what winds up happening here. He's got the Jaeger too. There wasn't the Jaeger used against him in an earlier match, or am I imagining things? I saw a lot of matches and a lot of things today, guys. So, but yeah, the Jaeger was actually used against him. He's got the Jaeger, he's got the Yanhong, he's got the Tian Lang, he's got the Gianna. Oh my God, he's got so much. I don't know why I'm saying. He's got the Tian Lang. He's got so much stuff. Jeez. Oh my goodness. This guy's got... I'm curious to see the rest of his box. I'm sure. Actually, I could take a look at it. I have a link to his box. Let's see what else he has, shall we? While we're taking a look at the match, let's see what other stuff he actually has here. So let's pull it up, and we'll see. Very curious. All right, let's see what he's got. he has Tian Lang. He's got. Let's take a look at the next match. We'll talk about it the next one. First pick Tian Lang into a Tian Lang and a Woosa. So Tian Lang, he's been picking a stripper in that second slot. He picked the Tian Lang because his opponent picked the ragdoll. That signifies that he was going to let the ragdoll through. So let's see what winds up. That's always my answer. Let's see what winds up happening here. Does not get the stun on the strip stun on the ragdoll. Goes for the skill 2 on the monkey, of course, because he wants to get all those, he wants to prevent himself from getting all those CCs. So monkey is his first target. Does he get the Oblivion? He does get the Oblivion, which means he just has to tap that, and she is down. Okay, so let's see if this Ryu does crazy Ryu things. Although he's going to take a decent amount of damage. At this level, people are building that the Ryu pretty tanky, though. So, I mean, in addition to the crazy attack power. So he's got to have crazy attack power, crit rate, crit damage, and also tankiness. Not as much speed. Not as much speed, because he's just... where you're bringing that fire Ryu, he's just taking a lot of... revenges. He doesn't necessarily have to get turns naturally. He just has to get he just has to do a lot of damage. He has to have a lot of attack power, so he actually activates his passive and then do a lot of damage to the enemy. You can't just ruin him with attack power only. You have to ruin him with tankiness, a little bit of tankiness, because he's going up against aggressive enemy teams, and then also some crit damage as well, so that anytime he does get a revenge, it actually is impactful. Matches up with the same person yet again. Let's see if this match goes any differently than the last time. Let's see if they draft differently. Opponent drafts the Woosa before he does. He's got 3 different strippers. He's got a lot of CC. Toxic units, man. Toxic units. Bans the Tessarion, bans the Woosa. Let's see what winds up happening. I did pull up his LDs. Oh my god. He's got... I mean, we know he's got a lot of LDs, but... just seeing it again, because I mean, we actually saw this in a previous video. We saw how many LDs he has. I just didn't remember quite the depth of the crazy LDs. So as soon as this Gianna goes down, he's going to get another stack on the Nana. But the monkey CC so much that it doesn't really matter, right? So let's see what winds up happening here. That's so much damage. Oh my god. So much damage. She's got Tian Lang, Gianna, Jaeger, Tian Lang, Leona, Akroma, Yenhong, Artemiel, Waliung, Eleanor, Pontos, Pater, Han, Nyx, Lydia, Vivachel, Sean, Alexandra, and Julianne. That's a lot of LDs, guys. That's a lot of LDs. He just keeps getting matched up with the same guy. Okay, so picks Nana first, and let's see what winds up. So he's going for a fairly similar comp. He's got the Gianna, the Woosa, aggressively picking the Woosa. So his opponent is picking a double revive comp. Double revive Beast Riders. So something that would prevent revives is super duper strong here. Let's see what winds up happening. Let's see if his opponent actually winds up taking him down. Fast Link, does he doesn't kill. He doesn't kill because the Leo is there, and the Leo nerfs the damage from those Beast Riders. That's really what does it. Leo's so powerful right now. So let's see. And then the all the CC from the monkey is gonna do just enough. There's really not too much to worry about in terms of that monkey's just gonna keep stunning, keep stunning, keep stunning, keep stunning. Yeah, and between that and the Cheongpung, that's just gonna be a constant nonsense. His opponent's not gonna get a turn. He wasn't able, like, if he killed with the Beast Riders, his opponent would have won. But just the fact that the Leica nerfed the Beast Riders damage. Leica's got a new passive, guys. The Leo nerfs the Beast Riders damage so much that actually won him the game by picking the Leo instead of an LD5. Just picking the right unit for the job. So it's not just that he has a whole bunch of LD5s because he didn't just pick 5 LD5s here. He picked the Leo because he knew that the Leo was going to do enough of a nerf to the Beast Riders. This match, opponent first picks Nephthys into some fast, aggressive double Skydancer. Ares doesn't even pick LDs. Well, he picks the Tian Lang, but he picks the rest of it is just some control units, 2 speed leads, 2 fast strippers, attack age reductions. Gets the first turn. The enemy gets the first turn. The Yenhong is so fast, though. Yenhong is so fast. Let's see what winds up happening here. So he still has the Ciara, which is not cooled down. The other stuff got some cooldowns on it. I mean, the Ganymede can't be cooled down, right? So let's see what winds up. He turns cycles enough with the CR to get a second bomb on already. He can't detonate it. Let's see if the monkey gets some monkey stuff. Monkey was cooled down, though. So monkey is Not dead. That didn't do as much damage as I was expecting. Okay, Monkey gets another turn, gets his skill 3, which was huge. And now this is basically game. This is basically game because the Monkey's got access to skill 3 again. So, that's GG. Yep, they knew it too. Here we have another match versus Faint Memory, who he played against earlier in the video. First pick segment, so this goes back again to these players having notes on each other. He knows that Faint Memory likes to play with segment. He's picking the segment so Faint Memory can't play it. Bans out the Tian Lang because he's been playing with the Tian Lang first pick, and bans out the Water Totemist. The Water Totemist. He's banning out the Water Totemist. That was the sustain for his team. So let's see if that's going to be enough. But it's really strong when you know what your opponent's playstyle is and you ban out something that they rely pretty heavily on. So let's see what winds up happening here. And then also it's never bad to have Tian Lang, because Tian Lang is just so OP, so ridiculously OP, that this match is this is a Tian Lang showcase of how strong this unit actually is. And we get a little bit of damage there with skill 1, but yeah, that's basically just game. That's already game. It's nice to have Tian Lang. It really is. Tian Lang is, in my opinion, Tian Lang is the most OP unit in RTA. He's not a pick every time because things like Cheongpung are very strong against him, but Tian Lang is he counters so much. He counters any Oracle, and Oracles are being used. Ragdoll he counters. Ragdoll's being used. Vertiheal he counters. There's a lot of stuff. Like, I could go over all the different things that have attack gauge increase, and there's a lot of them. I think we actually did in a video. We showed like all the different things that Tian Lang counters, and it was just like half the units in the game. So next match, first pick back to Tian Lang, Nana, Gianna. Let's see what winds up happening here. Cheongpung and Riley. I love seeing Riley. Okay, bans out the Tian Lang. Let's see what winds up happening. We got a lot of HP based damage on the opponent's side, and then we also have the Vertiheal for crazy turn cycling. So they do have sustain though. The Riley is enough sustain, I feel, but the Riley is going to keep stacking Bulwark. And then also Cheongpung. Cheongpung very strong into things like this, especially if he procs from skill 2 into skill 3. So Cheongpung is going to go down, but he's just going to come back from the dead, and then he's just going to get healed up again. So there's really not too much aside from that that's going to happen. Or he's not going to go down. I guess he's just not going to go down. Okay. Gets a stun on Gianna. Welcome back, Cheongpung. And as soon as Riley gets a turn, she's just going to heal everything. So he went for the Riley to heal more than the Cheongpung, though. To heal his team for more, because he didn't want his team dying and stacking the Nana even more. So, let's see. Gets the passing time. Do they get some more violent procs from the Cheongpung? Man, so OP. Such an OP unit. Guys, this Cheongpung is like an LD in itself. You know, I don't have to tell you. You guys have fought against Cheongpung, I'm sure, or are abusing Cheongpung. If you have him, if you've pulled Cheongpung, you are abusing him because it's just too smart to abuse him because you can't afford to have your opponents picking him. He's just so good. He's just so ridiculously good, as you can see. Last but not least, the very last match of the day against How to Play, who is using a very different strategy than they usually use. They're going for just all bruisers with passive strategy. They've got the Antares there, they've got the Juno, they've got the Leo. Not the usual strategy you see from How to Play. I gotta say, there's not 5 LDs or 4 LDs and a Triton or things like that. They're just 4 regular units with passives. Maybe you just switch it up. He doesn't want to play with all the LDs anymore. I'm not sure. Interesting to see. So I want to say, let's see what happens. I hate to say it, but I also, like, really, let's see what happens because, you know, it's Summoner's War. RNG is RNG. Do things proc, do things resist, do things actually land their debuffs. So let's see what happens. Let's see what winds up happening. But it's just crazy to think how much Woosa does this season versus the last season. Just that pure damage with skill 2 that also heals. If you think about it, now, don't get me wrong, Woosa does not do as much damage as Mo Long. Mo Long does significantly more damage, but Mo Long sucks up his own HP when he does that big damage with skill 3. Woosa doesn't suck up any of his own HP. He instead AoE heals the entire team. So one gets a drawback from that pure damage, and the other one gets an AoE full team benefit from that extra pure damage. So I kind of feel like maybe it's a little not balanced. I feel like we got to think about, like, Woosa got so much more meta this season than the last season. He was useful. He was a thing that you could pick, like, if your opponent wasn't picking a whole lot of strips. Your opponent's always picking a whole lot of strips. But if your opponent was not picking a whole bunch of strips, you could last pick a Woosa and, you know, and you could make things happen with Woosa, and he was very strong in that regard. But this season, you just see so many people, they're like, yeah, I'll first pick Woosa, I'll second pick Woosa. Doesn't even matter. He's like, it's not just about the immunity and the shields. Also, that Mo Long is a thing again. So he makes Mo Long even stronger. The two-shot combo, the Mo Long doing less damage to himself with his Reckless if the shield is up. And then also healing Mo Long as well. So you could Reckless, and then you could skill 2 with the Woosa and heal the Mo Long after that. But yeah, it's just, if you compare the two side by side, again, two things do damage based on their enemy or based on their max HP. Mo Long hurts himself. Woosa heals the whole team. I feel like that shouldn't be such a vast night and day difference. So anyway, that's just my thoughts. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right. But anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Oh, I shouldn't ask for that. I shouldn't ask for let me know what you think in the comments. You guys got to say all the terrible things. Anyway, I will see you as always in the next one.